Brazilian magic at Chelsea. Estevão Willian and Joao Pedro shine before the season even begins. Imagine this. The club football season hasn't even properly kicked off yet, and already two young Brazilians in Chelsea blue have given fans a moment to remember. If you're a supporter of the Seleção, this was one of those heartwarming, goosebump-filled evenings where you couldn't help but smile from ear to ear. I'm talking about Estevão Willian and Joao Pedro, two names that might just dominate both Chelsea's and Brazil's headlines for years to come. Now, why do I say this was the kind of night that could make a Brazilian fan absolutely overjoyed? Because neither of these players has been in a Chelsea shirt for long. One of them only just arrived, and the other joined slightly earlier. And yet, in this short time, both have already made their mark in a way that demands attention. Joao Pedro, the one who arrived first, didn't just settle in quietly. He's already played a pivotal role in helping Chelsea win silverware. That's right. The Club World Cup trophy now sits in Stamford Bridge's cabinet, and Pedro's contributions to that triumph were unforgettable. If you watch those matches, you already know he sent a clear message to the football world about the level he aims to reach in Chelsea blue. And then came Estevão Willian, Chelsea's teenage sensation, already hailed as one of Brazil's brightest young talents. His preseason debut was everything fans had hoped for and more. He stepped onto the pitch wearing the famous royal blue, took in the atmosphere, and within minutes found the back of the net. It wasn't just a goal, it was a statement. He was telling Chelsea fans, "The love you've shown me, the trust you've placed in me, I'm here to give it back. I may be young, but I'm ready to repay your faith." Estevão played 77 minutes in that match, scoring once, creating 3 big chances, and constantly threatening the opposition. He didn't register an assist, but his creativity lit up the game. And you could almost feel Chelsea's head coach smiling on the touchline. After the Club World Cup, the coach had spoken about Estevão's talent, calling him a perfect player and admitting that the squad had been eagerly waiting for his arrival. Whether the young Brazilian fully understood those words or not, his performance showed that he understood something even more important: the language of football. You see, Estevão's inclusion in the starting 11 wasn't just about tactics. It was about trust. And in just one preseason outing, he rewarded that trust. Of course, the Premier League will be a different challenge entirely. No one expects him to immediately dominate every match or start every game from day one. Preseason is a time for experimentation, for testing players in different situations. In this test, Estevão passed it with flying colors. Even if he doesn't start every game at first, you can bet Chelsea's coach will invest time in him, giving him opportunities to adapt and grow. And when he does come off the bench, he'll be ready to make an impact. In fact, before he even stepped onto the pitch, veteran Brazilian defender Thiago Silva reportedly told him, "You're going to love this shirt. You're going to love this club." Judging by his debut, Estevão has already taken that advice to heart. If he keeps combining talent with that passion for the badge, Premier League fans could be in for something truly special from this special kid. But of course, this night wasn't just about Estevão. Watching from the sidelines, Joao Pedro saw his fellow Brazilian score and must have thought, "If you can do it, why can't I?" And when his chance came, he took it, scoring a goal of his own and celebrating with pure joy. In one of the most heartwarming moments of the night, it was Estevão who cheered from the sidelines, returning the same support he had received earlier. Two young Brazilians, both shining in Chelsea colors, both pushing each other to be better. It was the kind of moment that reminds you why football is called the beautiful game. For Brazilian fans, it was almost too good to be true. Here were two countrymen, far from home, already lighting up English football before the season even began. The question now is whether they can carry this momentum into the Premier League, and perhaps even into the most prestigious stage of all, the FIFA World Cup. Will Carlo Ancelotti, Brazil's national team coach, take notice of Estevão Willian and Joao Pedro? Performances like these make a strong case. The match against Bayer Leverkusen may have been just a preseason friendly on paper, but in reality, it felt like a glimpse into Chelsea's future, and perhaps even Brazil's. Every touch, every run, every celebration carried a sense of promise. Estevão Willian and Joao Pedro didn't just play football. They played with joy, hunger, and a fearless energy that only comes from young players desperate to prove themselves. Let's start with Estevão again. At just 17 years old, he carries himself like someone far beyond his years. His first touches are clean, his dribbles calculated but daring, and his vision on the ball shows a maturity you simply can't teach. Against Leverkusen, there was a moment, and Chelsea fans will remember this, where he didn't even score or assist, yet the stadium applauded. It was when he danced past two defenders with the ball glued to his feet, creating space where none existed, before threading a pass that split the opposition open. These are the moments that tell you a player is special. What stands out most about Estevão isn't just his technical ability, it's his confidence. To step into a new league, a new country, a new culture, and instantly look like you belong, that takes more than skill. It takes mentality. And while the Premier League will surely throw challenges his way, his debut showed he's ready to face them head on. Chelsea fans might be excited about his goals and assists, but coaches? They'll be just as excited about his work rate, his pressing, and the way he tracks back to help his team. Then there's Joao Pedro. While he's still young, he's already a little more experienced in European football, and that showed. His runs were intelligent, his movement inside the box sharp, and his link-up play with Chelsea's midfield smooth. When he scored, it wasn't just about finding the net, it was about timing. Strikers live and die by timing, and Pedro showed he has that instinct. But what makes this story even more exciting is the chemistry between these two Brazilians. They're not just teammates, they're compatriots. There's a natural understanding, a shared language, a cultural bond that allows them to read each other's intentions on the pitch. When Estevão scored, Pedro was the first to smile from the bench. When Pedro scored, Estevão leapt up to celebrate. This is the kind of connection that can transform good players into great ones, because football is as much about relationships as it is about tactics. Of course, the big question remains, can they do it when the stakes are higher? The Premier League is ruthless. It's physical, fast, and unforgiving. There will be defenders who won't give them a second on the ball, rainy nights in tough stadiums, and intense pressure from fans and media alike. But here's the thing, Brazilians have a history of thriving in England. From Juninho at Middlesbrough to Coutinho at Liverpool, and of course the legendary moments from players like Willian, Ramirez, and David Luiz at Chelsea. The flair, creativity, and passion of Brazilian football has always found a home in the Premier League. For Chelsea, this is an exciting project. The club isn't just looking for instant results, they're building for the future. Bringing in players like Estevão and Joao Pedro isn't about one season. It's about shaping the next 5 to 10 years. And if they keep performing like this, both could become cornerstones of Chelsea's attack. For Brazil, Carlo Ancelotti must be watching with interest. He knows that the next World Cup is less than 2 years away. He knows Neymar's final tournament is approaching, and that the Seleção will need fresh legs, fearless minds, and game changers ready to take over the mantle. If Estevão can handle the pace of English football, and if Pedro can keep scoring against top opposition, their names might just make it onto Brazil's World Cup squad list. And if that happens, nights like this one against Bayer Leverkusen will be remembered as the first chapter of something special. What makes this all the more heartwarming is that moments like these bring fans together. Chelsea supporters, Brazilian fans, neutrals who just love good football, all found something to enjoy here. It's the kind of story that transcends clubs and leagues. Two young men, thousands of miles from home, wearing new colors, but still playing with the same passion they had as kids on the streets of Brazil. So, as the season draws closer, the excitement builds. Will Estevão's dazzling dribbles and fearless creativity light up the Premier League? Will Joao Pedro's clinical finishing and intelligent movement make him one of the division's most dangerous forwards? No one can say for sure, but one thing is certain. If you're a fan of Chelsea, Brazil, or just football in general, you'll want to keep your eyes on these two. Because sometimes, football gives you moments that feel bigger than the game itself. And this preseason night, with two Brazilians shining under the Stamford Bridge lights, was one of them. And maybe, just maybe, when the World Cup arrives, and the yellow shirts of Brazil take the field will look back and say, it all started here.